Hey VC, how's it going? As we are winding down the days to the new year, wanted to do another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about songs that I cannot any longer disassociate from the movies that they appeared in or the particular scene that they appeared in. Just five. I'm going to give you five, the ones that immediately come to mind. Whenever I hear these songs, I immediately think about that movie and that scene. So I'll very quickly get into here. The first one I am going to talk about, and I'm sure this is true for many, the song by Stealers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You, which appears in the movie Reservoir Dogs. If you've seen the movie, it's a scene where Michael Madsen is cutting the ear off of the police officer who he has taken hostage. A very graphic, very brutal scene, although he's kind of doing it in a very lighthearted way, kind of dancing over with the knife, and you've got that song playing in the background. I'm sorry, but ever since I saw that movie, I cannot hear that song without thinking about Reservoir Dogs. Holy crap. If you haven't checked it out yet, it is one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. I believe it was his first movie, definitely the first Quentin Tarantino movie that I ever saw, but holy cow, what a fantastic movie and what a memorable scene and a great soundtrack as well. Of course, I like it because Stephen Wright provides a lot of the soundtrack to that movie, and he's one of my favorite comedians, but nonetheless, Stuck in the Middle with You. Number two, Layla, a Derek and the Dominoes song, which featured, I think, very prominently in one of the pivotal scenes in the movie Goodfellas from 1990, where Jimmy Conway, who is one of the characters in the film, he has been wiping out a lot of people who he did the Lufthansa heist with, and they're finding their bodies everywhere. They're finding them in dumpsters, they're finding them in refrigerators, freezers, shot in their car. Very graphic scene, but that piano coda at the end, and if you've seen the movie Goodfellas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They just kind of play that last coda, and it's like, holy crap. There was this montage of them finding different bodies that Jimmy Conway has disposed of. But I hear that track now and I immediately think of Goodfellas. Goodfellas is one of my favorite films of all time. Might be my number one film of all time, that or Godfather. But that's a story for a different video. But I've always loved Layla, but now can't help but conjure that scene whenever I hear the end of that song. Number three, I am a horror movie fan, and I like Stephen King's novels, and in 1989 there was the movie Pet Sematary. I like the Ramones a lot as well, and there is a scene, very tragic scene, where the boy in the movie is run over by a semi-truck. Right before he's run over, the driver of the truck is listening to, in his truck, Sheena is a Punk Rocker by the Ramones. Fantastic Ramones song from their 1977 album, The Ramones Leave Home. But now, I can't hear it anymore. And truth be told, that was actually, when I saw that movie, that was the first time I'd heard that song. But now, whenever I hear the song, I think back to that soundtrack. I think back to that movie, and I think, like, oh crap, that kid's about to get plowed over by that semi. Just kind of one of the climactic scenes in that movie. I don't know if it's a climactic scene, but nonetheless, it is sort of the first huge domino to fall in that movie that kind of propels the plot forward. But nonetheless, you know, the Ramones also did the song Pet Sematary from that movie, but Sheena as a Punk Rocker in that scene is just full on a great choice, I think. Number four, I'm a Beatles fan, so of course Beatles are, whenever I get a chance to work them into one of my lists, I'm going to. But The movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off from 1986, there is a scene where they are downtown in, I think it's Chicago, and there's a big parade going on, and the song Twist and Shout is playing as Ferris Bueller and his friends are going down the middle of the street, and Twist and Shout is playing. And I think that kind of actually, Twist and Shout, if I'm not mistaken, actually charted when that movie came out, because it was such a prominent part of that movie. But just a fun scene in the movie and a great use of the song Twist and Shout. Twist and Shout is a great sing-along song. Of course, it's an Isley Brother cover that the Beatles did, but it's one of those songs that the Beatles made their own. Fits great in that movie. Just a good time movie, a lot of fun. One of those movies from my youth that I still watch and reminisce, and I think it's great, and I love it. But Twist and Shout, when I hear that song, I still think about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Number 5, I'm going to go with Ray Parker Jr.'s song, Ghostbusters, which appeared in the 1984 film, of course, the original Ghostbusters. Anytime I hear that song now in the radio, I can't help but think of the movie Ghostbusters. And actually, interesting fact is Huey Lewis and the News, I believe, sued Ray Parker Jr. over the similarities between that song and I Want a New Drug, which appeared on Huey Lewis and the News' 1983 album Sports. A little bit of a tidbit there. But yeah, I hear Ghostbusters on the radio, usually around Halloween time, and the first thing I think of is the Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray movie Ghostbusters. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I don't know how well it's dated, but it's still a fun movie to catch. But, you know, again, one of those songs that I cannot disassociate from that particular movie. So that's my list. I'm sure you've got other songs. This might turn into a thread, but if you want to share your comments, you've got other songs that have meaning to you that you cannot disassociate that song from the movie, I would love to hear it. Hope you're doing well, and take care.